Hi everybody, today is Saturday, October 5th, 2019. It is 8:37 p.m. Outside temperature is 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. I am in Grand Central Terminal right now, and this walk will take you from Grand Central Terminal to Times Square. I am right now in the Grand Central Terminal main concourse. Not that busy right now because it's off-peak hours. This is the main concourse information booth with the millions of dollars four-face clock on the top. I won't be doing a tour of 42nd Street in this video. If you'd like to see a tour of the Grand Central Terminal, you can check my other video out. I'll leave a link in the upper right corner with a card. If you ever get a chance to visit this terminal, I highly recommend it. It's truly a marvel and one of the most important buildings in New York City history that helped shape Midtown Manhattan as we know it today. Here's Vanderbilt Hall. Originally, it was the waiting area for the railroad trains. I'm exiting these doors into the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis foyer. She was instrumental in saving the Grand Central Terminal from its destruction. And I'm exiting onto 42nd Street and Park Avenue underneath the Pershing Square Viaduct. I'm going to walk along 42nd Street until Broadway, where I'll make a right. The city definitely looks a lot different now at this time. It's late at night on a Saturday night in the middle of autumn. Here you can see the One Vanderbilt Tower being constructed. It's already topped out.
I watched that 7 times last night.
Vanderbilt being the railroad tycoon back in the 1800s when the Grand Central Terminal was constructed. Not only was he instrumental in the railroads as well, but he had a major ferry business. Many people here are walking towards the terminal to catch the trains, the Metro North trains. There's 3 services: the Harlem line, the New Haven line, and the what's the other one? I forgot. I can't remember off the top of my head. And the Hudson line, Harlem line, Hudson line, and New Haven line. Here's Madison Avenue, home of the advertising and marketing industry. The headquarters of PricewaterhouseCoopers is on that corner, the accounting firm. This newsstand isn't open. There's a lot less foot traffic than during the weekdays, during rush hour and business hours, so there isn't really a reason for it to be open. New York City is truly the city which never sleeps. Here it is, almost 9 o'clock at night, and there's still a lot of people walking around. Once I get to Times Square, I'm expecting a lot more people. I like what this building did here with their colors. I wonder if it stays green all the time. Now I'm approaching the world famous 5th Avenue, most famous street in New York City. From here to 59th Street is one of the most well-known shopping districts in the entire world. Over there in the corner is the William Cullen Bryant Public Library. Or I should say New York Public Library, located in Bryant Park, which was named after William Cullen Bryant. I believe he was the head of a newspaper company. Very powerful person. Got some music being played here. I think there's from a musician up ahead. I can't really imagine that being from a speaker system. At least it doesn't sound like it from upon first hearing. Yeah, it's a musician from across the street. Well, it's a group of 3 musicians. No, 2. Very talented, I should say. They're really rocking it out. I like it. Looks like Bryant Park across the street is preparing for their winter village. So the transformation has finally begun, turning Bryant Park from a grassy lawn to the winter village. Bank of America has been sponsoring the winter village for many years now. They'll probably be sponsoring this year's also. This is Sweet Green, a health food store. You can tell the weather is getting a little bit chilly now because people now are wearing thicker coats. In fact, about a week ago, it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit in this city. That's around 31 degrees Celsius, and people are wearing short sleeves and shorts. We have some extreme weather in New York sometimes. Someone's dressed up in costume. I do assume that it's for the New York Comic Con, which runs until tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. The New York Comic Con is a major event that's held every year in the Jacob Javits Center. A lot of people dress up as comic book characters and anime characters. Here is 6th Avenue. The official name is Avenue of the Americas, but no one calls it by Avenue of the Americas. This is the Bank of America Tower, the company that's been sponsoring the Bryant Park Winter Village for many years. It makes sense because their tower is right across the street from Bryant Park. Even their address is 1 Bryant Park. It's another musician. I never knew 42nd Street can be such a musical place. As you can see and hear, New York is the city which never sleeps, especially here on 42nd Street and Times Square, which is only a block away now. Okay, some more people dressed up in costume. Here's one of the New York's constructions. Have to walk around. The sidewalk extends into the street here, but what can you do? Minor detour, but the work has to be done. Oh, they are installing more security bollards, which helps prevent people on the sidewalk from a vehicular attack. Boy, that was a tongue twister. Okay, I've just approached Broadway. Now it's time to enter Times Square officially. Here you want to make sure you know where your money is and your belongings are at all times. Try not to let anyone get close to you. We've got costume characters here, dancers. They're all performing their acts. I want you to know though that the show is about 75% hype and 25% performance. And afterwards they're going to ask you for money, for donations. So unless you're willing to donate, I wouldn't recommend you stay around to watch. There is a New York City Police Department precinct in the middle of Times Square. Here's 43rd Street and Broadway. This tourist I just passed had the right idea, wearing the backpack in front of her. If you're uncomfortable with wearing your backpack in front of you, then you could always like put all your most important belongings in front of you in your pockets or somewhere where you know that they're safe. Here's a pedestrian plaza. They have food stands here in the middle, as well as a little stall for the Strand bookstore. Nice picture here in the middle of Times Square. I always love coming down here to see different people enjoying themselves, what's new around here, because Times Square is always changing. There's new advertisements, new billboards, new companies are going and leaving. And there's also new events sometimes. During Fleet Week, they had US Navy SEALs here actually performing scuba diving in front of people. And then during Valentine's Day, they had a giant heart in the middle here. See, now there's advertising for HSBC, LG, Coca-Cola, Little Green Sprouts, The Lion King, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Excellent play, by the way. Okay, we got Thor here, Batman, Transformers, and the Hulk. I'm gonna walk away from them.
Oh my God, sir, you did it! Would you like a picture with us? Come on, picture.
Hello, honey. How are you?
That area is a little bit of a trap area because there isn't any way to continue going on the left side. But what they'll do is those costume characters will get next to you and they'll pull you over and they'll try to get a picture with you, and then all of a sudden they ask for donations and tips. Someone's selling roses too, or maybe giving them away, but it's hard to believe that anything in Times Square is for free. Over here is a McDonald's. A lot of New Yorkers, native New Yorkers, they avoid Times Square because they hate all these crowds, all these tourists, all the action that happens in Times Square, and also all the costume characters. They don't like to deal with them. Back in the day, in the 1800s, this was called Longacre Square until the New York Times came. And then this area became Times Square after the newspaper. So the pedestrian flow zone is on the left side. I'm right now walking in the designated activity area. CD hustlers to my right. The CD hustlers will approach you. They'll offer a CD for free, and if you take it, they'll press you into a tip or donation, and then they'll further pressure you some more by writing your name on it, autographing it, and then if you refuse it, say, hey, I autographed it already. Now you have to give me the donation. So they try to shame you into giving them a donation, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Even though you're in Times Square, you have to be careful of all the car traffic. It isn't wise to cross the street without looking, or doing it willy-nilly without looking at who's going to cross the street. Okay, we have Statue of Liberty here, rocking some blues. Transformers, Super Mario, which has his head off, and Minnie Mouse. Also Spider-Man, two Batmans, two Spider-Mans, and we got a Joker. And a street performer doing Michael Jackson and the moonwalk. So hard to move around here, folks. Does seem like some kind of cultural event is here too. There's also this statue up, the Rumors of War, by ⁴ Wiley. I don't want to go near because of all these costume characters.
This direction.
Now I'm walking on top of the Times Square TKTS booth. It gives a really, really great panoramic view of Times Square from the top. Maybe very difficult too. I do find it is a little bit chaotic here. People kind of like sit wherever they want, and there isn't really a clear path going up or going down. You kind of have to like watch where people are sitting. Although it does seem like there's some order. People are descending on the other side and ascending on this side. Okay, I think I'm at the top now. Just look at the glory of Times Square, the crossroads of the world. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Now you know what Midtown is like during nighttime, and especially Times Square, when this place really comes alive. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.